be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Facer Hill Pro Wrestling Talk, Thursday, February 12th, 2026. And we seem to lost Glenn somehow already. It seems to happen about once or twice a show. But Chris Gonzalez joined by OG Tony, Marcus Fine, Justin Terrell, and looks like Big Glenn might be back.
Yep.
Yeah, there he is.
Hey,
what are you doing, Glenn?
I had to hit the refresh button because sometimes a random person will be on mute and I can't hear you, so I had to hit the refresh on my phone.
Oh, okay.
He's back. He's better than ever.
Eric Bischoff, baby, let's go.
All right, guys, let's jump right into it. Got a lot to talk about. Pretty good week of pro wrestling that we've had. First of all, I want to talk a little TNA. TNA continues to grow. I think they was up to 274,000. They've grown every week since the first week, pretty much. So that's a good sign for them. Show's been pretty good. Last week's show was pretty solid. So it's growing every week. So they're moving in the right direction after that. One of the worst shows I've ever seen the very first week. that was 2 hours of my life and Marcus's life that we can't get back, that we watched that show. But
I watched it.
Hey, Tony, I got a funny analogy for that show for you. The only thing that came out of that show is that signed title I got from Jesse McKay. So there you have it.
Okay. All right.
Correction. What my favorite part about the match or about the show was the very beginning of it, kicking it off, seeing one of my good friends, referee Alice Lane, refereeing the first match on AMC.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now we got a couple other subjects we're going to hit before we start our TV breakdown of the shows from the past week. The first one is Braun Breaker. Got a hernia injury. He's had surgery already. First of all, I don't know if he'll be back. I don't know if they can keep a story going while he's out. It's going to be interesting what this does for WrestleMania. They've had a lot of setbacks, man. I know, you lost Seth Rollins. They had big plans for him. Now you lose Braun Breaker. The Bianca Belair, I don't know if she's going to factor in the plans that she's not been mentioned. So I don't know if she's going to be there at WrestleMania. So they definitely have had some setbacks. Justin, what do you think? I mean, do you think they can come back from this and get Braun into something, or do you think they'll wait till after WrestleMania, or what do you think?
I mean, from what I'm gathering from the injury, it's not one of your typical hernias where you're out 6 to 8 weeks. This one is a major surgery. So it sounds like he's going to be out months, which means WrestleMania is in jeopardy. It's WWE. They can recover from it. It's one of those things like if you're hot, you're hot. And the moment you get hurt, it's like, all right, well, we got to move on. The show must go on. Now you got to come back and work even harder to get back into where you were. So I think it's a setback, but at the same time, how severe is it is the real question I want to know.
True. Bully Ray made a good point. He said, in his opinion, what they should do should be the next guy up. And he says that he thinks the perfect guy to take Breaker's place is Bronson Reed. Whatever they had planned. Whatever they had planned for Breaker, you just put Bronson Reed in there and run with it. Which
I agree. I think you put Bronson Reed in there. I don't think you move Logan up there. You don't really need to put Logan in that spot, especially with what he draws anyways. Logan's there. You don't really have to put a belt on Logan because he draws his fan base and hit all those viewers through improvisation and all that stuff like that, or
And
impulsive. My bad.
one other thing that I thought, and I'm not saying it would be a good fit. I think it'd be a good fit with Heyman. I don't know if it'd be a good fit with the group. Is they haven't debuted other than at the Rumble, Powerhouse Hobbs or Royce Keys. Could you, if you know Breaker's going to be out for 3 or 4 months, could you bring in Royce Keys to be a muscle guy? I think that could be interesting.
I think that could be interesting too. I mean, but I think it as how much do you want to push him right off the get go? Like, honestly, I think Powerhouse Hobbs has the look, but what if you bring in somebody that maybe nobody's really expecting out of the complete blue, and maybe if Jericho's contract is up, maybe you bring in Jericho.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Chris, what do you think about the Braun Breaker situation?
When did he get hurt?
When you flip the table, the Raw after.
There's been rumors
I was wondering if he was hurt before the Rumble, and that's why they knocked him out so quick.
People rumored that first came out that it was the table, and then since then I did see a story that the table didn't do it, that he had problems before that. So, and that would make sense because he didn't wrestle in the Rumble, but I'm not certain. I've seen a couple different reports. So, what do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it just depends on how bad the injury is and when he'll be able to come back. If he'll be back in time where they could try to do something at WrestleMania, or if he's going to be back so late that you don't have time to really build a story or to get him back in the mix. Yeah, I kind of agree with you guys. I'd go with Bronson Reed and go with that, and then wait until you get him back and see where you can go from there.
And that's the thing. We don't know what they had planned for sure with Breaker. Some people said Seth Rollins and Breaker at WrestleMania. There's history between Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. Remember, Bronson Reed gave him the big squash about 5 times, 6 times. So there. I mean, it wouldn't be a stretch. Marcus, what do you think?
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I mean, I'm not following it too much since I can't watch those pay-per-views anyway. Yeah. So, I really don't know.
Yeah. That's a lot of stuff is still up in the air. Glenn, what do you think?
Yeah, with the potential he tore beforehand or has had issues with it, makes me think that obviously I do think it is a bad one because I've been reading the same thing that Justin is seeing as well. That I feel like even if he comes back for Mania, I think he'd be lucky to even make Mania in that way. I think he's more likely to be back for Backlash in Tampa in May than obviously than Mania.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Also, been reports have come out that there's, and I don't know if they're all true. I believe there may have been a meeting, and they may be concerned about ticket sales. They've sold about 36,000 tickets for Saturday and Sunday night. That they're down 14%, something like from last year. Of course, people say it's a creative. I don't think creative is a problem. They've had some injury problems that could damper things. I think if there's any problem, it's the cost of the tickets. I mean, and being in Vegas again, doing Vegas 2 years in a row. I think that could affect you. I still think they'll be fine. I figure they'll at least have. I mean, you're still 10 weeks away. You only really know 1 or 2 matches on the card. A lot of people buy stuff later. A lot of people buy stuff later because they're hoping ticket prices come down some. So I figure there's still going to be over the 50,000 mark for both nights, in my opinion. Whether they can get to 60 like it was last year, I don't know about that. But with the because of ticket prices, but I don't blame creative for the lack of ticket sales. That's just my opinion. Anybody got an opinion on that?
I do.
Yeah,
have
I don't.
Go ahead, Justin.
Go ahead. I don't think it's the ticket sales. I mean, I do think the tickets are a little bit pricey, but at the same time, I don't think it's the ticket sales. Again, we only know guaranteed 2 matches. We know that Roman Reigns is going to wrestle CM Punk. That's the one match guaranteed.
Jack with those, they always do.
I know.
We're not convinced those will be the matches. They'll screw those somehow.
Well, yeah, but But as of right now, we know that it's Punk. It's Punk and Roman. That's the guaranteed match right now. So, is everybody sold on? Oh, this is going to be the paper. This Mania is going to be worth watching because this right now this is the only match I see. So why, So I want to see what they're going to add in. And me personally, I've always been a fan of getting rid of the gimmick PLEs. Like, take away Money in the Bank, take away Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber used to be No Way Out. Make it No Way Out again. But like Money in the Bank should be in WrestleMania. Like, that's how you build your stars there. So you give opportunities to people like there to have, you have 2 Money in the Bank matches, a men's and a women's. There, now you already go, all right, now we got 3 matches guaranteed. And then, when Liv picks her person, you have 4 matches guaranteed. I can see why people are kind of like, I don't know until we get the actual card to see what the product is. Am I going to be sold into into buying the ticket? But I don't think venue-wise or ticket sale-wise is the issue. I just think the card right now, it's not convincing enough to jump and buy those tickets. They'll be fine. They'll still sell it out. They struggled last year, and I don't think having it in Vegas again is going to be the issue because if we remember in Tampa or during COVID, they did it in Tampa, and then they did it again the following year in Tampa. But if we remember, I can't remember back in the 90s or early when WrestleMania first started. I want to say they did a back-to-back.
Yes, Trump Plaza.
4 and 5.
Yeah, so 4 and 5. So it's not unusual that they do back-to-backs. But I didn't like the fact that they announced New Orleans and then it was like, nope, we're gonna go Las Vegas.
Yeah, because Vegas offered them a bunch of money. I think they'd been better off in New Orleans, is my opinion, instead of doing a second year in Vegas. But I still think they'll do well. Big Glenn?
Yes. I just happened to, I don't know if you mentioned it already, Tony, but I just see a thing today about WWE shareholders and Triple H or having to me about the low ticket sales and stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that we're talking about this right now. I think having it in Vegas again kind of like puts a damper on people wanting to come back out if they've already been out, because usually when you get people from WrestleMania, they are return customers, people have traveled to events like that already. So if they've already been to it once, I mean, they may not want to go spend that same amount of money or even more again. And one thing about in today's economy is everybody loves a good last minute ticket deal. So, and with the way these prices are, people are gonna wait till the last minute. They'll still reach their butts and seats number, whatever it needs to be. But as far as the ticket sales, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Okay. Anybody else got to take?
Well, he's what Glenn just said. People come to WrestleMania, they also explore the city. Well, we just explored the cities 12 months ago.
Yeah.
See, but if they put it in New Orleans, well, they haven't had New Orleans for 10 years?
Yeah.
At least.
So now the city's different.
Yep.
So they can explore again. See, that's a good point, Glenn. And they're not just there for the wrestling, they're also there to explore the city. And we just did that. So
I agree. Chris, you got to take?
No, not nothing that you guys haven't said.
Okay. All right, guys, got one other thing, and we'll jump into our weekly wrestling stuff. AEW got an interesting situation going on. They got a wrestler by the name of Brody King. He's a great big guy. Reminds you a little bit of Bruiser Brody, just a little bit. But pretty good big guy. And they put him in a deal with MJF, and he has made no bones about it. He's not a big fan of the ICE deal. He's raised money to help get people out of jail. He wore a shirt that said "Abolish ICE" on TV, and it's took off. And when he had a match with MJF. They met in the middle of the ring, and the crowd was, fuck ice, and they've had a big movement. It was covered on national TV about this, so it's had a big movement. And so this week was supposed to be the go home show Wednesday for a big event they have in Australia on Saturday, which MJF is going to be defending the belt against Brody King, and Brody wasn't on the show. And then Meltzer reports, which Meltzer's big friends with Tony Khan, so he reports that that he got pulled, and it wasn't Tony Khan's decision, and it was WBD. WBD was worried about the FIs. Also, WBD is trying to make a sale to Netflix, and they're worried that the people could get involved and stop that sale from the government if they piss them off. So that was what Meltzer said. Well, then Fightful reported, and then WBD came out and made a statement that they had nothing to do with pulling anybody. That was not true. So I don't know what the truth is. Then Meltzer's come back and reported that it was Tony Khan that made the decision to pull him. So do you think this is real? Do you think this could be a work that they're working this to be part of the story for Australia? I think they should shake things up, and they should put the belt on Brody King because he is hot right now. That's just my opinion. I think he could be a hero and an anti-hero because you got both sides. You got some people going to hate him. You got some people going to love him. So you got a situation. If he catches spark, he could be the spark that AEW needs to gain viewers back, to which they've had trouble with.
And they getting there.
Justin, what do you think?
I think honesty is the best thing we could do here. If Tony Khan is the one that pulled him, why would you pull somebody? Especially if it's go home show, leading up to your pay-per-view. I think if I'm Tony Khan, that's a bad move for me. I think you slow down. I think you kill the momentum and slow down the momentum. If it's Warner Brothers, I mean, I get it. Everybody has their own views, their own political views. It's what makes America America. Your First Amendment right, freedom of speech. I'm not going to hate somebody for saying FIs, and I'm not going to hate somebody that says I love Trump. Like, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So I just think Dave Meltzer is a pathological liar. I don't believe anything Dave Meltzer says. And I wish he would tune in because I would tell him that to his face. I just think Tony Khan's trying to get as much clout as he can. And I think for Fightful to come out with that, and then Meltzer to come out and be like, oh, no, Tony Khan made a decision. It just makes Tony Khan look kind of shady and shitty, in my opinion.
All right. Big Glenn.
I tell you what, when it comes to Meltzer, man, I would be more likely to believe it's something that Jeremy Halley would say than, I mean, it is that bad when it comes to Meltzer, but that's something new. But as far as the AEW stuff, I can see Tony making it into a work, but I also could see some powers that be, whether it be the government or whatever, telling Tony to chill out with it. So,
well, my thing is, why pull him? Because you can just bleep it out.
Yeah,
just bleep out the chance. I mean,
because CW does that with NXT, man, and sometimes it's annoying because with it being local TV,
Yeah. Chris, what do you think?
It's hard to. I would say it was probably. I lead to think it was probably Tony Khan that made the decision. Just because when the TV network came out and said they didn't, I mean, if they really did, it would come out. So then they would look stupid. So I kind of think Tony Khan made the decision. To me, I mean, if it was me, I agree with Justin. I wouldn't have took him off the show. I just went on with what I was doing and kept on trucking. But I feel the same way Justin does on the thing. I ain't going. I don't quit talking to people or hate people or something just because they have a different opinion of me on different subjects. Like if you did, like we were talking the other night, if you hate or quit or just stop talking to everybody you disagree with, you're going to be one lonely motherfucker because you ain't going to you ain't going to agree 100% on everything with anybody. And if you do, there's probably an issue. If you agree with somebody 100% on everything, so
it start getting
that's what you call a high quality ass kisser.
Yeah. Okay,
I kind of lean that it was Tony Khan's decision, but if it was, I think it was the wrong decision. I just kept on doing keep your show as you was going. Just keep on doing what you're doing, and don't worry about that.
I agree. Like, just keep it trucking, keep on moving. Especially with if you are thinking about putting the belt on Brody King. Like, why would you take him off? Like Tony said and Glenn said, like the worst you could do. I mean, the best thing you could do, or the worst thing you could do, is just censor everything. Like, you guys have a 10-second, 5-second, or 20-second delay, however many second delay in between what's said on live and what comes through the TV. So bleep it out.
Yeah, and he's not made any speeches on TV about how he feels. He wears that shirt. Now, he said stuff off camera in his personal life, but he hasn't said anything on TV. He just wore that shirt.
And that's the thing. Like, everybody's entitled to their own personal opinion. I mean, if you look at the other day, look what LA Knight said the other day about Donald Trump and pedophilia or something like that. If I can pull it up, I'll read what it says. But he said something about the whole Epstein stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, but LA Knight didn't come out and say it on TV. Yeah. Like, your personal opinions shouldn't affect what your professional careers do. But at the same time, you should be able to watch what you say, because sometimes what you say will also bite you in the ass too.
Yep. What about you, Marcus?
I have nothing to add. I think you guys all covered it.
All right. Okay, guys, let's jump into our weekly wrestling talk. SmackDown. Mr. Justin Terrell, what did you think of SmackDown this past Friday?
All righty. Well, I am getting my review pulled up here because I had a review written down. It was solid. It was a solid rebound from the following show. I mean, the ratings were kind of down because you were fighting against the Winter Olympics. You had the show start off. I thought it started off really hot. I thought starting it off with Drew and Cody beating the crap out of each other. I wish Cody's promo didn't drag on too much. I felt like Cody's promo drug, and it killed the momentum of the crowd right there. But Cody is Cody, and he was able to bring him back a little bit. I thought the women's tag match between Rio and Julia and Kiana James. Kiana James continues to improve, and I really like what I see from Kiana James. I'm kind of ready for her to split with Julia and get her singles run finally. Just hoping she stays healthy. Carmelo Hayes, again, Carmelo Hayes is him. That's all I got to say. Carmelo Hayes is him. He continues to be an outstanding champion and continues to rep the title, the United States title, and the open challenges very, very well. And he had a phenomenal match against The Miz. I like where Raquel and Liv's going with this. I feel like it's going to end up turning into either Raquel's going to. Here's what I think might happen before we continue on. I think what's going to happen is Raquel's going to qualify for the Chamber. I don't know. I don't think she already has, but I think she's going to qualify for the Chamber, and whoever she challenges for the title, Liv is going to do the same thing.
Okay.
I think that way they can quote unquote have the the advantage being two judges a day. But I think then you can have Raquel pin the champion and not pin Liv and still keep Liv hot and have the feud go that way. But then you had the qualification matches. It's good to see Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton deserves another run eventually. And then Tiffany Stratton getting back the momentum. Unfortunately, had an injury with Chelsea Green, and her ankle is broke. It is official that she did confirm that it's broke. So another one who's hot coming into WrestleMania season, who's going to miss WrestleMania because of the broken foot. It's unfortunate for her. But I felt like, and then to end the show with Drew getting attacked by Jacob. I thought, continue to keep Jacob in the fold is good. I liked how they kept Cody away from that to kind of keep it separate. I think what we're going to get is with Cody. Cody's going to qualify for the Chamber, I think, and then I think Fatu and Drew are going to wrestle at Chamber, and then that's how we're going to set up the triple threat from there.
Okay. We had almost the exact same notes. I had almost the same notes that you got. The only thing I had different was Obafemi destroyed Kit Wilson.
That was beautiful too. I forgot about that.
Kit Marcus, you probably don't know who Kit Wilson is, but when you get a chance, look up Kit Wilson. He's got music. He does a bit. He's a mid card guy. I mean, he's really over with the crowd.
You totally should listen. Yeah, I was gonna say you totally should listen to his theme for about 20 minutes straight.
Yeah. It's one of those themes. It's very good. So it's very catching. So yeah, I had about the same thing you did. I like what they're doing with Drew and Jacob and Cody. Kiana James is looking fantastic, man. She's got a different look about her, and she's really doing well in the ring. So I like her a lot. I think hopefully she can keep moving forward. I like Randy qualifying. Didn't have a problem, with Tiffany qualifying. So I thought it was a pretty good show. I give it about 7.5. So let's move on to Chris.
Yeah, I'll agree. I would say about 7.5 and 7.5, 8.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it was a decent show. Chris, let's move on to you with Monday Night Raw. Maybe. There he is.
Of course, you had to come to Raw. I was blowing my nose and shit.
Well, you knew he was next.
All right.
Oh Lord.
I thought. I'll be honest with you. I thought Raw was okay, but I didn't think it was a real great show this week. I thought it kind of felt like I did last week. I thought the stuff out of the ring was better and meant a little bit more than what happened in the ring. I thought some of the work in the ring was kind of sloppy.
Yep.
The Usos, Alpha Academy, Tozawa and Otis looked a hell of a lot better than what the Usos did. The Usos was sloppy in that match, missing super kicks. I mean, that was sloppy. I think Becky's trying to be too much like fucking Seth Rollins now. I really didn't care for that promo, her jumping around and just it's like she's trying to be a female version of Seth Rollins is how it's coming off to me, and I really didn't care for that a whole lot. Then you had I thought it was they almost killed Valkyria when damn it, the other girl fucking German superplexed Rhea Ripley and almost landed head to head.
Yes.
I mean, they missed by maybe just an inch or something. I thought, like, damn, she almost got killed. But then in that match, you had a spot where that Ivy Nile done the double suplex.
Yep.
On Ripley and the other girl, I can't forget her name now. But then later on when you had the Americanos match, they did that exact same spot.
Yep.
The original Americano done it with the other two Americanos, and it's like you just had that happen in the female match. Why are we repeating the spots in the matches? I thought the main event was pretty good, but one thing I hated about that, I thought the commentary was terrible in that match. All they kept saying in that match was Paul Heyman and the Vision were told they can't interfere. They were told they can't interfere. Fuck, you knew they were going to interfere because that's all they talked about was that they couldn't interfere.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they said it like 20 times during that match. Is all Cole and Graves kept talking about was that Pierce threatened him. No, he didn't threaten him, and it was like you knew what was going to happen because of that. I thought they buried that home a little too much. Yeah, I didn't think this Raw was. I thought last week's Raw was stronger than this week's, and I wasn't the biggest fan of last week's.
The wrestling was sloppy. I agree with you. I had that wrote down. I thought the storytelling for the show was pretty good. I mean, I thought the storytelling was working pretty well. I thought the last match was pretty good. Who do you think the masked man is now?
I think it's Pierce.
Okay, because it can't be Logan Paul. Well, it could be Logan Paul still, but it wasn't Logan Paul that day at least because Logan Paul was right there. So I don't know.
But I also don't think the guy that was in the mask on Monday was the same guy that was in the mask at the Rumble. It didn't look like the same person.
What if it's Jake Paul to help get set up Jake Paul versus Logan Paul at Las Vegas?
Yes,
that's a possibility.
I would love to see that.
People's been talking about that.
I'll also say about Raw. Yeah, I agree with Chris. Everything on Raw, like Raw was sloppy. I felt like I did, however, loved Javon Evanson's cutter off the top rope.
Oh, that was sweet.
Oh God,
that was beautiful.
Perfect timing. You couldn't have timed it. No, you couldn't have timed it.
Oh, I know. But I am excited because they are setting up for El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano.
WrestleMania. Yes.
And it better be mask versus mask because if it's not, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Yeah, it should be mask versus mask. Real quick, guys, there was some criticism. Some people said they thought, and I think I sent Marcus that video. He got to see that, I believe, that cutter that that Javon hit. A lot of people are saying they thought that they should save that for WrestleMania. That he shouldn't have done a move like that.
Shut the hell up.
on Monday Night Raw.
I don't think the way he's going, he don't have moves in his. There's more moves in his arsenal.
Yeah. Yes.
Every week he comes out with something different.
He does. He's outstanding. Yeah, but I thought Raw was okay. I kind of agree with you, Chris. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but the wrestling was sloppy. But like I said, storytelling, which is the main thing for me, I thought the storytelling was still pretty decent.
You know what the sad part about Monday was, Tony? I needed to go down on the Amazon box, and I was waiting for a Bella Twin match or segment to happen, and we didn't fucking get it.
Oh, I know you're disappointed, aren't
you? Do you like what they're doing? Like what Becky Lynch is doing with their character right now, or am I the only one that's getting the feeling like it's just like a trying to be a female version of Rollins?
You know who she's supposed to be? No, you know who she's supposed. A lot of people say who she's trying to be. A lot of people say she's trying to be Donald Trump. That she is basing her character on Donald Trump.
I fucking love it. Then
that's what a lot of
it makes sense now.
That's
makes sense now because she said it. I am the greatest wrestler of all. I'm the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Even ESPN saying it. You know, it all makes sense now.
Yeah, that's what I've read more than once. That she is based.
It's genius now.
And then you know who she was basing it on? She was wearing the colors. She was basing her character on Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. And then
she did that for a while.
And then like Natty's new look. It's almost like they're trying to make her look like Shayna Baszler or Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
The way she came out there in her gear and the mouthpiece and everything.
Yep. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do.
Yes, but I love the new Natty. Finally they're giving Natalie.
I like that they're doing something with her and letting her. I do like that.
Letting her get a personality, let her be her.
The only criticism I got with Natty is if they're going to do that character, have her destroy people. She should be destroying everybody. That would be my only criticism. Okay, guys, we're gonna move on to some NXT. I think this is gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah, I heard Marcus loved this show. Is what I've heard.
Well, I guess going according to the way they're going, shit's just going downhill because NXT was pure crap. It was all I could do to even watch that shit. I even texted Tony about an hour and a half into it. I said, "This is just terrible." So anyhow, okay, here we go. As best I could get through this. Well, they started out with the Vanity Project. Those guys are nothing but a bunch of dorks. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Those guys
are gosh, they are. They are about as annoying as the Bill Twins, and I only have seen them for twice.
And they are prima donnas, and that's the pretty boy, the little
preppy
high
frat
school
boys
jocks.
Is what they are.
Yeah, they're little frat boys. That's all they are.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got Jada Parker versus Blake Monroe. I thought it was more of a cat fight than a wrestling match. The butt drop's pretty interesting. I like how she does them butt drops. But as Chris said earlier, the best part of the show was after it was over with, and she's kicking everybody's ass and knocking them through the barricades and stuff.
Oh, the kick to where she supposedly kicked the guy in the balls.
Yeah,
that dude was a hell of an actor. I mean, he jumped up in the air, not 10 feet, but he jumped. He was fantastic selling that. Fantastic.
The double count out surprised me. You don't see that on TV much anymore.
Nope.
No.
I mean, you see it in the indies a lot, at least one show a month I have. But on TV, I don't think I remember the last double count out anywhere.
Yeah.
So, but I don't care for Blake Monroe. She's not that good. Or at least she was off Monday too.
She's got exposed a little bit. I think Tony Storm carried her over in AEW.
All right, what we got next? Josh Briggs versus Eli Knight. Oh, that's the speed match. That was all right, I guess. It's hard to keep notes for a 3-minute match. I have to pause and play, because anyhow, so Eli went on, and then Jasper Troy came out. Jasper Troy's a good guy.
Yeah.
Eli landed wrong on Briggs, though, if you didn't notice that.
Yeah, he did.
And then what we got? Jackson Drake versus Joe Henry. You know what was funny about that? Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I have a side note here. That didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Oh, Marcus.
Well, I got a side note here. That had nothing to do with that.
That is pretty funny, though.
Do you believe in Joe Hendry?
That was just a so-so match. I mean, everybody's attacking Joe Henry. So it just making him, I don't know. But I thought the little skit they did with Ethan Page, trying to figure out who his next opponent's going to be. And Shiloh Hunter comes in there and grabs that machete. Here's my machete.
That was outstanding.
That shit was funny. That was the best part of the whole show.
Shiloh Hill has got a future. He's got a character.
That's funny. Shiloh Hitter's an old WCW from the 2000s, but Shiloh Hill, that's it.
Yeah, he's not bad in the ring either, but his character outside the ring is outstanding.
Okay, then we had Tank and Hank and Vanity Project. That was terrible. And that's the first time they did the first picture-in-picture. And so you waited till that match before you went to a commercial, so we didn't miss any of that match? What did you want us to see in that match that you didn't want us to miss? Because that was terrible. And then you had the main event. And it ended up, you knew Zarya and Sol Ruka, that's where they were going to concentrate their
feud.
Yeah. They were going to that match wasn't, they just had the other two in there.
My bad.
But Sol Ruka got it. You see a few coming. I think Sol Ruka's a glory hog. It's going to be interesting to see. That's not going to stop.
Who do you think will turn, though? Do you think they can swerve us and turn Sol?
Yeah. I think they could.
Yeah, I do. I think that's who's going to be the heel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they go one way, then all of a sudden, bam,
But that workout thing you sent me, that Sol's tough.
Oh, God.
The workout shit, man.
Sheamus was trying to do it. He couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I did out of
she
the
got that
10.
core muscles.
What was it? Last week I give it an 11.
Yeah.
I give this show maybe a 2 if they're even lucky, and that's out of,
Oh shit! Damn.
no, I did. This was so rough to even watch.
It wasn't their normal stuff. Yeah, I know they got a lot of new guys. To me it seemed what's the right word? I don't think rushed is the right word, but it just
A bridge.
it just didn't flow. It didn't flow. Normally their shows flow pretty good, but this just didn't have a flow. I agree with you. You said it was bored, hard to watch, and it was. The main event I had interest in. The Jada Parker, I thought that was okay match. I mean, I like Jada Parker. I think the crowd's really behind her. But yeah, it just didn't have a flow. Now, I didn't give it a 2, but yeah, I'd be hard to give more than a 6. But
I had to. Yeah, I had to give it a 4. I think it's more of it's more of a bridge because they're about to go on the road. They're about to go up to the Northwest, for a few weeks this month. They're going to be in Atlanta on Tuesday, and they're setting up for a stand delivered. So it's just like a bridge to get from A to B. So
okay, but then as Justin said about WrestleMania, don't you think you want your shows on TV to look good to sell tickets in your cities?
yeah,
When you're on the road, people are going to tune in and watch that. Why are you going to want to pay to see that shit in forever?
They haven't even started selling stand delivered tickets yet, but they have been selling those live events.
So,
what they're doing,
and the live events. I mean, you look at it; they're non televised, and those are relaxed shows. And hearing the talent, hearing things, talent talk about it, and even former talent that I've got the pleasure to be in the locker room with or be on shows with, said those house shows, those are more relaxed. You're not really scripted. You get to go out and have a little bit more fun. So, I mean, you don't really have to have stories as far as those. You're just there to promote their shows. Everybody just wants to see the entertainment. But yeah, I agree. It was kind of a dead show. I don't think it was a 2, Marcus. And that's why Roman Reigns picked you at WrestleMania. But I think they have so much going on in NXT right now. They had so many call-ups, and they're getting ready to lose Sol Ruca. Sol Ruca's getting ready to get called up. So they're still trying to fight and find the places for these next stars. And that's why I think you're kind of getting a little bit, you got that staleness and that sloppiness because you have guys that are not used to working with each other, or these new guys that are those guys are not used to working that pace or that format because they're not used to being on TV that much. So there's a lot of factors in there. Plus, you lost Ava. She didn't resign. She became a free agent. And so there's so much turnover in NXT right now. So yeah, I can kind of see that it was like a lost in the shuffle and kind of shuffling around to see what we got. But I think coming up to the next pay-per-view, which is, I believe it's St. Valentine's Day, it's NXT Vengeance Day, I think, would be the next pay-per-view, and then Stand and Deliver. So I'd be kind of curious to see where everything is after Vengeance Day.
Well, I got one question real quick. Did Marcus take a job with Dave Meltzer as a? That sounds like a Dave Meltzer rating. He would give WWE.
I don't know.
You have a very good show week, and then it was just like, oh man, let's just drop the ball really bad.
Well, because Marcus gave it the first 2 weeks. Marcus watched it. He gave pretty good reviews. I mean, he liked both shows. But then this week, I mean, it wasn't a strong. Again, I didn't think it was a 2, but I understand Marcus's point of view. It was a big drop off. No doubt about it. It was a big drop off from what they did the week before. Huge. But like Justin said, they got, and that's one reason they've stepped up all these house shows that they're doing is because they want these guys to work together and try to build chemistry more than just once a week. So they're doing these shows on Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays and stuff. And then to help draw people in so they can get, 1,500 people to a small venue and stuff, they're bringing in WWE talent that they're not using. to the show. So they're bringing some WWE talent, 3 or 4 people to, help draw people also. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but yeah, they did drop the ball this week, Marcus. I can't argue that at all. Big Glenn's back. Hey, Big Glenn, let's talk a little AEW.
Yes. Yes, it was a relatively good show. How I better than what NXT was on Tuesday. I'm just going to go to the main points of the show. We had Orange Cassidy Roderick Strong defeating Clark Connors, Daniel Garcia in duels action. Young Bucks to be the private party. We had a segment with Death Riders chopping off Mira Shirakawa's hair. And the 2 big events of the night, obviously, are the ones that everybody's talking about is Kyle Fletcher defeating Tommaso Ciampa for the TNT title, and Thekla defeating Chris Statlander for the belt.
Yes. Yeah, it was a good show, guys. You don't hear me say this very often. AEW was probably the best show of the week.
Absolutely.
It had flaws. I'm not saying it didn't have flaws, but it was probably about 7.5 or 8. But now, first of all, Death Riders, guys, you got to book or make up your fucking mind. How can you be good guys the first match, and then you have them in another match, some of the guys in another match later in the show, and they're heels?
Yeah.
Pick a lane. Pick a fucking lane. I mean, what are you going to be? And I don't want to see John Moxley on my TV to start the show every fucking week. I mean, it just a little too much. You got Ciampa came in and won the belt 10 days ago, and then have him lose the belt back. It didn't make sense to lose the belt to Fletcher, in my opinion. Great match though, fantastic, great match. The Young Bucks, the Rascals, Myron Reed looked great. Dude was on cloud 9. You could tell before the match and during the match. He's excited to be part of AEW. So good for Myron Reed and the Rascals. They were with Private Party and the Young Bucks. Of course, the Young Bucks won and setting up a feud with FTR, which who gives a shit about that. The big match, the women's match, was a strap match. Pretty decent match. Tekla won the championship from Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander had the belt maybe 6 weeks, 2 months. That's one thing to kind of get into the ratings have went up the last couple of weeks. That's the problem with Tony Khan. He gets into a formula that, okay, well, we change belts, so now he's want to change champions every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and you got to be careful with that because you'll burn through stuff and you'll burn everybody out. So he's got to be careful. But the ratings have gotten better over the last couple of weeks, and it was a good show for them this week, for the most part. And they got a huge show this Saturday, 8 p.m. If you're not doing anything, it's from Australia, and it's a 2.5 hour show. It's going to be a pay-per-view quality show live on TNT. Well, it's not live; it is taped because it's in Australia, but it is going to be a good show. So you might want to check that out. AEW this Saturday. Okay, guys, let's talk a little old school. Marcus, I'm going to let you start things off. It was Rick Rude versus the Ultimate Warrior SummerSlam 90. Matter of fact, I watched most of that. I just watched almost all the pay-per-view. That was a pretty good pay-per-view. A pretty good one. That was a pretty solid. That SummerSlam is better than some of the WrestleManias they had.
I agree. All right, well, I got a trivia question. I ran across this somehow. You know the wrestler Chris Kanyon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know he was not the first person to be called Chris Kanyon? Can you tell me who was?
I did not know that.
I do not know
Oh,
that.
shit.
Yeah, King Kong Bundy. Look it up. He was.
That's crazy.
He did spell it the same, but he was known as Chris Kanyon before the Chris Kanyon that we know.
Now, did you know? I know you guys know this. And nobody yelled out, Glenn. Marcus probably always know this, but he debuted in WCW. At least I think that was his first debut. He wasn't Chris Kanyon. Who was he, Marcus?
I have no idea.
Mortis.
I know, but I'm not saying it.
Yeah, it was Mortis. It was Mortis under a mask.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I loved Mortis.
I did too.
Mortis
Okay.
Glacier.
So
Yeah,
we're staying
Glacier
on King Kong Bundy real quick. You know who he
They were-
had his retirement match
They were
with?
basically going like Mortal Kombat style that way. Sorry,
Yep.
Marcus.
No, you're fine.
Mark, shut the fuck up.
When the first time I told him to shut up, King Kong Bundy was in a famous retirement match. Whose retirement match was he in?
Bob Backlund's?
Hmm.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
He had hair when he done it too.
Was it Jerry Lawler?
Nope.
Was that the one from Married with Children episode?
From what?
Married with Children episode?
No.
No, this is a lot older.
WCCW. Does that help you?
Oh, Texas. Okay.
Oh shit, we're going back that far.
1982.
I wasn't even alive. 83. I wasn't even alive then.
Fritz Von Erich. It was Fritz Von Erich.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And that's not when Fritz came back for the David Memorial shows. This was when he retired there at Texas Stadium.
Yep.
And his opponent was King Kong Bundy. If you look at that matchup, it's you talk about old school. That was pretty rough, mean shoot type of fighting. But
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, now to our old school match. I was watching a shoot interview with King Kong Bundy. Y'all watch some of those on YouTube. Some of that stuff's pretty interesting. Listen to them guys. I didn't care for this version of Rick Rude's entrance music. I always liked the strip tease music more than whatever that music was he came out to this time. I kept waiting on Warrior to collapse the cage because he come out there, he climbed up the cage and just started shaking the living shit out of it.
Yeah.
And I really was waiting on that panel to pop off there like a Hell in a Cell, and he landed about the 5th row in with the cage on top of everybody. But whoever put the cage together, it held up. I thought it was funny that Warrior ran around the ring about 16 times before Rude finally got in the corner and told him basically, "Will you knock that shit off? We got a match to start."
Yeah.
But why did the referee start the match before Warrior was inside the cage? Warrior climbed up the cage, started beating each other, and the referee started the match. Like, he's not even in the cage yet, you dumbass. So does that mean then the Warrior could drop down at that point and hit the floor? Because the match had already started.
Yeah, he did start it.
So, and then the awesome use of that cage, and Bobby yelling at Rude throughout the time because Rude's doing those Jimmy Snuka jumps off the top of the cage, and Bobby's telling him like, "Why are you doing that? Get out of the ring. You can be the champ." Bobby slamming the cage door like it was Terry Gordy on Kerry Von Erich in 85, 86, whatever that was.
Yeah.
The tug of war with who was they tug of war with? Oh, yeah. Warrior was grabbing a hold of Rude, trying to pull him in the cage, and Bobby's trying to pull Rude out of the cage. So you knew Bobby had finally ended up in the cage, and Bobby is one of the best sellers I think I've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, seriously. And Warrior shaking his hips on the way down the cage, and then of course, let's just disrespect the living shit out of the title and swing it around.
I knew he was going to see that one.
Swing it around. Swing it around some more. They go there, swing it around some more. It's like they take the belt off. You don't be champ by swinging your belt around everywhere. But
what about cleaning them together?
well, you have to have two to do that. But yeah, I thought it was a really good match.
Yeah.
Very good match. So
yeah, I agree with you, Mark.
I think it was a WrestleMania quality match. I think it really was.
I thought it was a little short though.
Yeah, I think it could have gone on longer, but I think it was a time because Hogan, of course.
Yeah.
I don't want to badmouth Hogan now. I was a big Hogan mark back then, but Hogan really kind of stole a lot more time than he was supposed to have.
Yeah.
And they kind of had to cut stuff other places. So.
Well, and plus Warrior usually didn't wrestle long matches all the time. I mean, a lot of his matches were short, so
he blow himself up, getting to the fucking ring.
Well, yeah, he ran around that ring about 4 times before we finally got up there to
He couldn't wrestle long matches.
Too.
He couldn't wrestle
Yeah,
long
he
matches.
couldn't wrestle long matches because he was coked up probably, and two, he just could not stop running all the fucking energy. But you also got to look at it like Tony's, like Marcus said, like Hogan did steal a lot of the spotlight from a lot of the guys. Like if you looked at Hogan's matches in the WWE back in the day, a lot of his matches were 20, 30, 40 minutes long. I mean, they were very long matches. And so if you watch, a lot of those guys had to work faster and they had to work shorter matches because of Hogan at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Go
I
ahead.
have one more real quick. Well, the interesting thing is I have the captions on my TV on because sometimes you can't understand what some of those commentators say. And anytime they say World Wrestling Federation, it comes up World Wrestling Entertainment. If they say WWF, and that's what you hear them say, the caption won't say that. It'll say WWE. So evidently they're not allowed to put in writing World Wrestling Federation. And
yeah,
so I thought that was interesting.
I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a little, like I said, I just, not that it didn't have enough time, but I thought it kind of struck me, probably because after watching the Hogan match, it seemed like it was kind of short. The two things that stood out to me, man, I want the old cage back. I want the cages back.
Same. All day.
I wish they'd bring them back. And then the other thing, man, Bobby Heenan. The dude, because like you mentioned him, Mark, selling that when Warrior hit him with that punch, he almost did a backflip. I mean, the dude could sell. Then, like you said, going out of the ring, just miss Bobby Heenan so much, man. He just one of a kind. I don't know that anybody as a combination. I mean, I know he didn't wrestle a lot, but when he did, I was fortunate enough to see him wrestle live one time in a match with a chain match. Dude was just super great.
Well, you remember when Warrior put him in the weasel suit? Look how much he flapped around in that thing.
Yes.
You just didn't just. I mean, he literally acted like somebody shot him, and he got ran over. He was dead. The way he was bouncing around and flapping, and
he wrestled in the AWA and did the weasel thing. Who was that? Who did he wrestle there? You remember, Marcus?
Yeah, I know.
Who? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
Greg Gagne.
I've seen it.
Because it was Greg Gagne's weasel suit.
Yep. You're right.
And then Bobby got a hold of it because he gave it to Bobby, and then Bobby took it to Warrior, and Warrior destroyed it. And Bobby said, "I don't know what the hell happened to the damn thing."
Yeah.
That crazy lunatic's got it or something. I think that's a quote. I wanted to shoot an interview, so
he wasn't a fan of Warrior. I don't think too many people was.
That's
Chris?
funny because I was a fan of Warrior at the time.
Yep. Well, I was too.
But then here we are years later, and well, of course, I was a fan of Hogan, and here we are years later, kind of bad-mouthing Hogan, and I was a fan of Goldberg, and hell, shit, I don't even know what I was thinking of then.
Hey, you believe in the hype?
Hey, it's okay, Marcus Meltzer. We understand.
Marcus Meltzer.
I ought to take that on in here. Just start talking this shit out of everything for no reason.
But you should pick one, and I think it should be Christian Cash.
Yeah, and then have him call me up.
Yeah, he would.
Have you got any grief? Have you got any grief for any of those yet?
No, I haven't.
Phoenix's wife.
Really?
Yeah, because Phoenix wasn't in the top 5 wrestlers of the year.
He was in one of my top matches.
No, that's what I told her. She says, "I'm just giving you grief," and I said, "Leslie, I get that every year." So join the club. Okay, called me up 5 days in a row, bitching because he's
Cash. Yeah,
his 2-time tag team didn't make the top 5. Anyhow, go ahead.
Okay, Chris.
I really don't have much to add other than what you guys have said because you stole what I was going to say. They need to bring the blue cage back.
Oh man,
it was a good match. It was a real good match. Could have been a little bit longer, I agree. But yeah, I miss the old style cages.
Even if you don't bring it back as a blue cage, you can bring it back bring it back as a black cage.
Yep. Or using the out there, you know.
Yeah.
I'm surprised none of the indies have ever come up with something like that.
I've been trying to.
I'm surprised that Joey ain't built one.
There was a company down in when I worked down in Georgia for a stint. There was a company down in Georgia. It was called I want to say it was RC. It wasn't RCW. It was I think it was called DCW. The guys, the owner's name, the co-owners, it was a guy named Tommy Gage, which is hilarious, and the guy and the guy's owner, the other owner's name was Johnny Blaze, which is hilarious too.
What?
But
are you serious?
Yes, but this Johnny Blaze actually wrestled on WCW.
Okay.
But they had the old style looking cage, but it was legit steel.
Yeah.
When I worked it, it hurt getting hit at it. It did not budge. Like they had, like it was solid steel. The one they had, like if you didn't take care of yourself, you got cut and everything.
Yeah, the original Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original Elimination Chamber about killed people.
I love the original.
Was it Triple H that cut up them pretty good, or Shawn? It was Shawn Michaels.
And then the other thing,
the Punjabi prison.
Yeah, because
I hate that match.
Yeah, that was made out of steel and about kill people. Yeah, that was bad. Big Glenn, your thoughts?
Hang on a minute. You was talking about cages. I told you about that Dr. Death Steve Williams versus Michael Hayes.
Yep.
In that cage. You ought to see that. They didn't have a door on that thing. They just literally took one whole side of the cage and pulled it out, hinged on one side, the whole side. Dr. Death got in there and they just pushed the whole side back in place. Put the pin in it. They didn't even have a door on it. I was like, well, that was unique, but
yeah.
So,
Okay,
anyway,
Big Glenn.
Yeah, it was a great match. Their trilogy of matches from SummerSlam 89, WrestleMania, then obviously the one in the cage, man. All of them are 5-star classic, really, and it's hard to really pick one of the, or the other two that they had, because the Warrior's best opponent was obviously Rick Rude. So, and I would have to put that 5 out of 5 on rating. And the funny part for me was obviously when Warrior was halfway down the cage and he was doing that little Rick Rude taunt and shit. So.
Yeah, it was a fun match. It was a good one. What are we doing for next week, guys? I think.
Justin.
I got a special match for you guys. One of my all-time favorite matches. It's a match from Monday Night Raw in the early '90s. Ric Flair versus Mr. Perfect. The loser leaves Raw.
I thought he was gonna give us the. I thought he was gonna give us the Bret Hart 1, 2, 3 Kid match.
Nope. I do believe that was on the same card.
Yep. So we got Flair, Perfect, Raw. Yep. I remember that match. I watched it live.
It was such a hard-hitting, stiff, great storytelling match.
And that was when
And then Flair got big grief when he went back to WCW because Ole Anderson gave him hell and said, "What can I do with you? You lost a hinting on TV. I have nothing for you."
Yeah,
that's Ole being Ole.
Yeah, Ole was. Yeah, that's true. Ole was nuts. Hey guys, that's all we got for tonight. Thought it was a great show. Appreciate everybody watching. Real quick, hey, if you needing something to watch, man, check out our show last night. I thought it was a really good show. It was 10 o'clock last night, of course, but it was the OG Hot Seat with OG Tony and the gang. I tell you, it was really good. If you want to hear some crazy stories, we was talking a lot about our childhoods and stuff. If you want to hear a story about me getting shot at 3 or 4 times, so we definitely did some good storytelling last night. So check it out on our page. We appreciate that. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon with the afternoon show. Me and Chris, No Jay. So check it out tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. And man, we appreciate everybody watching, and hope everybody has a great weekend.
Yes, sir. Have a great weekend.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass. why I win this match.